Hi everyone, welcome to Homerino Collectibles, where today we're going to be taking a look at the Marvel Legends Deathlok from the Toy Biz Galactus series. As you can see, it says superposable 39 points of articulation, although that sticker right here is upside down. It does say that it has a 32-page comic book, and this figure also comes with the torso to Galactus. On the back of the box here, you can pause it if you want to go ahead and take a look at this bio. And then down below we have everyone else in the wave, and I have done a review for everyone now except for War Machone, so that video will be the next one from this series coming up. Then we're going to get to the Galactus Build-A-Figure itself, but that's enough for the box. Let's get this thing open and take a look. So first up out of the box we have the comic. This is Deathlok book 3 of 4, and that artwork is just absolutely fantastic. I really like that. And here in the small print it says that it is volume 1 number 3 from mid-June 1991. And here we have the figure itself out of the packaging, and this is a really nice figure. Whether you are into the character or not, if you are into Marvel Legends at all, you will know that this is pretty much one of the most detailed figures that you can get. As far as I can tell, there are no reused parts from this or parts from this that have been reused on other figures since. There's different types of paint, i.e. kind of glossy metallic paint along with matte, and we have washes and highlights and things in there. Really awesome molded detail and unique weapons and everything, just really awesome figure. So first of all, let's take a look at this weapon. Here we have a pistol or machine pistol or whatever it is, and as you can see it is attached to his chest via this cord. Now if you just pull it, there's not much glue in there, you can just pull it out and separate it if you didn't want that cord on there. But it is a nice thing to have it attached there as if the gun is kind of being powered by him. It has a little hole in the handle. Oops, wrong side. There we go. Hole on the handle right there. As you can see, there's a peg in the right hand, not one in the left. So basically, it's going to be very easy for him to hold the weapon. The hand is actually sculpted in a trigger finger pose. In fact, so is the other one. And although it doesn't hold it, it does do a very good job. Like if you want to hold it in two hands and have him gripping the gun and whatnot, it still looks great, even though you can't actually, if you have other weapons, or, in fact, you could still put that in that hand if you wanted to. As you can see, it's just not going to hold as well because it's not pegged in. But, other than that, it works extremely well. It also has these two little pegs on the rear of the gun, meaning that you can come over here and peg it into the hole in his backpack. Whichever way you want to do that, that way is probably easier. So you can actually store his gun back there and have the cable running over his back and whatnot. So really nice storage option right there, so that you don't have to just have it hanging from the chest. Because if you don't want him holding the gun, that's the only other way that it would be. So I'm really glad that they did actually give us that storage option. Also, the gun itself has some very nice detail. As you can see, we have the black and silver, and then we have some nice black wash on there to make it look a bit more dirty and used and whatnot. And you have all these little buttons and screws and whatnot, painted silver, so I think that looks absolutely fantastic. The backpack itself I don't think is removable unless you, did just want to basically destroy your figure. I don't really want to try and find that out, but it's not intentionally removable. Just like this isn't intentionally removable, but you could do it if you wanted to, obviously. And I like the paintwork on the backpack here and everything, and it's overall, there's nothing too crazy about it, but it is done very nice. Now, what is done extremely well is this head sculpt. So let's get some close-up focus on this thing. Look at that. It really does look like someone has been brought back to life, and it's just absolutely fantastic. So you have this kind of zombified look. We have this nice little bit of pink detail across the eye as a scar right there. You have actually a little crosshair in that eye right there, which reminds me a lot more of like a Deadshot or something. Nice detail in the hair. You have a couple of different colours. So you have like a blonde afro kind of look, and then you have a black wash put in there to give it a bit more detail and a bit more of a gritty, grimy look. You have the green, but then you also have another darker green wash. We have the teeth painted really nice. It's just absolutely fantastic. Throughout the silver on the figure, as you can see, we have a black wash, and then we have some blue highlights, which is really awesome. On the red, we have this really nice metallic red look, again with some, some of it isn't actually washed, some of it is actually just painted in there to really, define those muscles, which is fantastic. And like I said, you know, the wash and the highlights and everything carries on throughout the entire figure. So there's so many different colours used on this guy just to make it stand out past, you know, the bare minimum that they could have used, which is what we would probably get if we saw this figure done nowadays. So I really, really do like this figure. They've put a hell of a lot of attention to detail into this thing. The only thing about the paint that I don't like is just this disc, but there's nothing that they could have done with it really. As you can see, it's red on this hinge, and they did try and paint it a little bit, but if they had put silver on the top there to make it match up with that, it would move when you move the arm anyway, so I don't mind it really. It's just the only thing that, you know, is kind of stands out as not being, you know, too great, but there's nothing, like I said, that they could have done with it really. So let's take a look at the articulation now. That is something that I really do love about the figure. The head goes all the way up, all the way down, left and right. The shoulders go all the way out and all the way around. He also has secondary shoulder joints which come out a little bit as well, revealing some silver detail there, which I think is really cool. It just gives the figure an extra little bit of articulation to help with some of those awesome poses. At first it kind of looks like he might have a butterfly joint that goes back and forth, but it actually goes up and down. We have the rotation at the biceps, we have double jointed elbows, we have a rotation at the wrist, the hands go in and out, and then you also have the finger articulation to hold the weapon. We have a diaphragm joint up here which just moves left and right, which just aids with this waist twist right here to give it just a bit more of a natural looking twist so that the entire torso bends. We have an ab crunch which goes that much back and that much forward. We have T-jointed hips, so they go forward and back a little bit. They come all the way out to the side very nicely. We have a thigh swivel, double jointed knees. We have a rotation at the boot. The feet go all the way up, all the way down. We have an awesome ankle pivot right there. And we have toe articulation too, and he has peg holes in the bottom of his feet. The figure stands 6 3/4 inches tall as opposed to the 6.5 inch regular Marvel Legends. As you can see, this is the Captain America from Age of Ultron on the right. Although this is probably one of the lesser known characters, obviously more people know about it now due to the show Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., where Deathlok played a big part in that for a while. You know, he's a really, really awesome figure. The paint detail, the sculpt, the way that they've done the accessory and the articulation and everything, just it all adds up to just be an absolutely fantastic figure and what I would consider one of the best Marvel Legends ever. You know, doesn't matter about what character it is, it matters about the execution of the figure, and this is just one of the best in my opinion. It's also part of one of the best Build-A-Figure waves, and you get a comic with it, so it's all win-win-win for this figure. So it's pretty obvious that if you're looking for a Deathlok, you may have found that this is the only one that you can find, or at least in this scale anyway. And, you know, there doesn't need to be any competition for this figure. To be honest, they don't need to make another one unless they do like a different suit style and whatnot. Because this figure is just perfect in my opinion, and if you can find it for a good price, then go ahead and get it. It is a fantastic figure and it is worth being part of your Marvel Legends collection. So thanks for watching guys. If you enjoyed the video, go ahead and give it a like, and if you want to see pictures of other stuff from my collection and upcoming reviews, follow me on Instagram and Twitter. It's Homerino123 for both. Links are in the description below. And to see War Machine from this wave and the Galactus Build-A-Figure and new Marvel Legends in the future, go ahead and subscribe. So thanks for watching guys, and I'll see you